is not here for us. The Greater Cleveland Partnership is running City Hall, and they don't like black people. So we don't give them our vote. We're going to turn this around. The election, let them think that it's in the bag. When we go to vote, we vote Lanci. Yeah.
Lanci! 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 Lanci!
Ken Lanci, Mayor Frank, forgotten Jackson, has forgotten about us in our neighborhoods. So what I want you to do today is I want you to go home and I want you to tell each and every individual that you know, everybody that's voting in your city, I want you to go and tell them to vote Lanci.
Yes.
Lanci is the only one that genuinely cares about us. When we look at our neighborhoods, when we look at jobs coming into our neighborhoods, we are forgotten when it comes to being on the employment list. We say today that we choose something and somebody else. We want a mayor that represents us. We want a mayor that looks like us, that understands the conditions of us. Who do we want?
Lanci!
What do we want?
Lanci!
What are you going to do?
Vote Lanci!
Let's vote Lanci, because Lanci, the Black Contractors, is proud to announce that we endorse Ken Lanci. Because we believe that Ken Lanci will do what's needed in our neighborhoods to uplift our neighborhoods, to bring our neighborhoods to where we can accept that, we can accept and be proud of our neighborhoods. We stand here because we elect Ken Lanci. Frank T. Jackson has forgotten what it is to come back into the neighborhood. Sure, he stays on 38. But guess what? He gets in his chauffeur-driven limousine every single day. And he looks past us. So we have to look past him. And not only that, let's remember the 137 shots.
Yes. Yes.
That's what we just remember that, because it can be one of your family members.
You're right.
Let's do what Frank couldn't do. Let's fire him.
Up here, if you look around this downtown development, the African Americans have been forgotten on these jobs that your tax dollars are paying for. And the mayor can look right out of his window and he waves at all white contractors and tradesmen working on these projects where we go deeper into poverty. He is doing nothing to assist us to change the neighborhood. You see the crime rate, the poverty rate. He's had 7.5 years to do something. He does not understand what to do. He does not deserve another term as mayor. Right? We have given the mayor proposals, and we could take 2,000 to 3,000 residents in each ward and put them to work on construction jobs. It's 9 black wards. That's 27,000 black people we could put to work today. The mayor took my proposal, threw it in the garbage can. We had a community benefits agreement that was drafted by the legendary, iconic former congressman, 30-year term, former Congressman Lou Stokes. He drafted up a beautiful proposal with the community benefits that would have guaranteed diversity and inclusion. The mayor tore it up and threw it in the garbage can. He said, forget us. The unions did not want to be a part of us, the building trade. The Greater Cleveland Partnership, Joe Roman, said absolutely not. Let them stall. So we have to put the mayor out of his misery, let the absentee mayor, the invisible mayor, let him go home. Let him go home. I'm going to turn this over now to our next mayor, Ken Lanci.
Thank you very much, Norris. Thank you, Kenny. Appreciate it very much. This endorsement is extremely important for the community. This endorsement is about the Community Benefits Agreement. This Community Benefits Agreement was drafted bipartisan, biracial. It was recommended to the mayor. He initially agreed, and then he didn't sign it. I am here today to tell you I will sign that agreement. You need to understand who is out there fighting for you. Martin Luther King, who we have celebrated this week, would not be happy with all those that have elevated behind him through his efforts in a city that has African American politicians, congresspeople, senators who have not put the pressure to help their people. They expect you will just show up and put them back in office term after term after term. I am putting a stop to it is what it is. It does not have to be. It is what it is. It does not have to be. You have to understand, I was here 50 years ago as a young man in those streets when the riots were there and the buildings were burned and the lives were lost. The difference today, we're not building the buildings down, we're burning them up. And we have more crime in this city today, more murders today per 100,000 people than we had 8 years ago. You need to understand, in order to have change, you have to do something different. You have to want to participate in that dream. You have to want to have your piece of the American dream. And the only way that's going to happen is by holding people responsible for what they tell you they're going to do. Talk is cheap, very cheap. I'm here to tell you that come November 5th, I have to have your help. I have to have you talk to your friends, to your relatives, to your community. We have been told it will take divine intervention to win. Well, God is with us. Faith, hope, and love. He is no longer going to be kept out of our schools, out of our community, or out of our government. We are ready for the fight. We know what has happened when we allowed others to make that decision about God moving away from the things that had made us great and the faith that we had. Everybody is very happy to have God locked up in the prisons, where those that are sitting have no choice but to speak to their God. We're happy to have them in the trenches of war, where they ask for his help. But yet, we don't want him in our schools to help our children. That is going to end. And last but not least, you all should be outraged at your leaders in this community, your TV stations, your newspapers. Nobody cares. They want to continue things the way they are. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? You are the forgotten residents, and they don't care. It's got to end. Don't take that sitting down. Walk with your feet. Spread the word. Vote with your heart and your mind to make a difference in your community. Only you can do this. I will fight the fight. I am one person, but it's up to all of you to get me there. And together, we will do better. God bless you all, and thank you for coming.
One last thing to say, and I appreciate everybody for coming out today. If you look around, you will notice they do not want the media covering positive black stories. They only want to cover us for being murdered, robberies, or jail. So anything that's positive or anything that we can bring positive, let me say this. The race is even. The media wants Frank to go and stay in the office because he's a part of the Greater Cleveland Partnership. So it's all on the same boat. So they don't want us to do okay. They don't want us to feed our families. They don't want us to pay our house notes. So we telling the media today, go to hell. And we'll show them at the voting polls, and don't let them believe that Frank Jackson is a landslide winner. What a lie. What a lie that is. It's not going to be no landslide, and we're going to beat them because we're going to go door to door, and we're going to let the people know that the handful of people that this man has taken care of over the past 7.5 years are not enough to keep him in this time. Thank you.
There'll be a mudslide.